Hey everybody, I want to do something a little bit different today and look at the recently released Hallmark Dreambook. Now, these books come out, well, now, and it shows off all the ornaments and such that they are going to be selling, especially once summer and fall hits. And there's a lot of really cool pop culture ornaments that I like from movies and shows and video games. And those are going to be in the back half of the book, like you can see Clark Griswold here with the little home movies. That's one of them. So I thought I'd go through this real quickly. This is a PDF you can download for free from their website. You can also go in store and get a physical copy. I think you might have to be a Gold Crown member, which is free to join. So let's start right here with these kind of like paper craft ornaments. Some of these, like this little Pinocchio one, I'm not a big Pinocchio guy, but this looks really, really well done. I think these are done with like wood and paper, it says. So some of these look really cool. I think that Mickey Mouse one looks kind of neat as well. So let's go back and get back to regular size and we will keep going. Actually, I should shrink this a little bit more and we'll see what else we have coming this year. Can I get it all on one page there? That'll do it. So here we go, and I will zoom in. So here are some of the more generic ones, the snowmen and stuff like that, Santa Claus. And some of these, if you're into the like more traditional stuff, these will be pretty cool. I like this kind of old nifty 50s keepsake ornaments, this little mini box of ornaments. I think is pretty neat. These ornaments can be very pricey though. A lot of these I like to wait until after Christmas and see if I can snag them for half off or more if one really tickles my fancy. Like again, I'll zoom in a little bit here, but I like this kind of like vintage style look right here. So this one lights up. A lot of them, they'll light up or play music or whatever, but $26, that's quite a bit. So let's keep going. And here we have kind of like these, I don't know. These are a little bit more for adults. You got like the snowmen with the yellow snow cone and a North Pole dancer. I don't know what it plays. I don't know how, that doesn't sound kid friendly to me. So here we start getting into some of the pop culture stuff. So we got like the Grinch and Elf. These are kind of cute for what they are. You could see the cousin from Christmas Vacation, Polar Express, Belle. The Frosty looks very nice. The Heat Miser, that was a great special. Christmas Story. Here's kind of more of the family ones, if you're celebrating like a birth or a wedding or commemorating something or your pets, these are kind of more for that. And here we have, some more of the kind of religious ones. Let's see, this one says, I'll Fly Away. Not really a Christmas song, if you will, but it might be interesting to hear what that sounds like. And then we're getting into some other interest of people, like if you got a new home. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to get more into the pop culture. And here, that Stone Cold, man, he looks angry. That is one angry one. And then they do athletes. I'm a Detroit guy. Doesn't look like anything for me this year. You got Micah Parsons and Jalen Hurts and guys that aren't on my team. And then Hallmark has been selling more of these desk decoration things. Like this looks kind of cool, this little Lionel set, but it's $130, and then you got the cars. That Bumblebee Camaro looks kind of cool. And the John Deere tractor. And then this is now these are going to be miniature ornaments. So think of like Micro Machine, like this tree is really tiny. So keep that in mind. So these miniature ones, for what they are, they're kind of pricey. They're cool looking, but it looks like a Micro Machine you just put on a hook. You can see the Darth Vader mini tree topper is $30, which is probably roughly the size of like an orange or something. And then you have the different ones that are like $10 or $11 for these little miniature ornaments, which, like I said, they can be a bit on the pricey side depending on what you're doing. And remember, these are all miniature. So here's a hand for scale. So like you can get this 3-pack of Pokemon ornaments and they're $28 for those small, tiny things, Minecraft, little Goomba, Beetlejuice there. Goomba is $10. Beetlejuice, $12 for that little tiny Goomba. I mean, some of them are cool, but I don't know if they're worth it, at least for me. You got Voyager there. Now we're getting to the full-size ornaments. So we have Mickey Mouse, various Mickey Mouse ornaments, which look very well done for what they are. for some reason, I guess Haunted Mansion has been a seller. I've seen these the last few years, and they've made quite a few. And they actually have 2 tree toppers. And these tree toppers, this one is the Disneyland Manor tree topper, $150. Now they light up and play music or whatever, but it's like, wow, this one's $150 also. Like they lots of, I'm sure they're cool and the special effects are pretty cool, but you're looking like $45 an ornament here for several of these, 45, 45, 45, 40, lots, quite a bit of investment there. And then we get to more stuff. Now this one I think is pretty neat. And I might want to see if I can snag this for half off afterwards. So it's $45. So I might be willing to do half on this. And you press the button and it moves. Annie sings Rainbow Connection, which of course is very iconic. I dig that. I'm a big Kermit fan, Muppet fan. Some nice little Disney ornaments here as well. That's a good Apu. And we go on, and here we have some other ones like Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Emperor's New Groove. That's an underrated Disney movie in my opinion. They even have a Sid, or the Pixar Snowman. That's pretty cool. So some of these are pretty neat. Some of these do things and some of them don't. And we're in the Peanuts. Charlie Brown has been a big thing for Hallmark. So we have like a little snow cone machine. And we have a little Snoopy phone. It says dial the phone to listen in. That might be interesting. You can go in store sometimes and try these out. Push the button, see what it does. So sometimes like just to see what they do. Little Merry Christmas Charlie Brown thing. That looks pretty cool. But again, it's pricey. It's $150 for that. Then we have some Kool-Aid and mac and cheese and Fruity Pebbles. Here's some more pop culture. There's a newer, was it the Mayhem style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? You got SpongeBob, Garfield, lots of different properties. Here we got Barbie. We got like a little dream house here. We got a Twister My Little Pony. Was that even a thing, or a Christmas Furby? I think I've seen a Christmas Furby. We have Megatron there, and I do have some Transformer ornaments from the past that they've done. And that Megatron looks G1. I like that, but I don't know if I like that he's like on a shield. A little Fisher Price popper. I used to have one of those. Lincoln Logs. It looks like it's not Lincoln though. And some of these ornaments will come out at different times. Like they may say available in July or available in August. I like the Slimer. So Slimer's going to be $20. He looks pretty cool. He doesn't do anything, but I like the looks. And we have Gandalf there. I am a Lord of the Rings kind of fan. And he looks kind of neat. He plays dialogue from the movie. This is my low-key favorite ornament of the bunch. It is for the Jaws 50. And it's a shame they don't. I'm a big Jaws fan. It's a shame they don't have more Jaws stuff for their 50th, but this looks like a lenticular thing where you move it and it goes from the regular poster to the poster that's covered in graffiti. And it's only $19. I mean, it's nothing special, just a lenticular thing, but I might try and snag that one. This Raiders of the Ark one looks pretty cool, and I think it lights up. That's not too bad either. And we go over here. We got, Beetlejuice. We also have the Jurassic Park. That Chucky, he doesn't look like Chucky to me. He looks like a different Chucky. I don't know. I'm not a big Chucky guy anyways. Exorcist, who had Exorcist Funko Pop ornament on their 2025 bingo card. Addams Family. Dig the Addams Family, but that thing, I don't know. It's just a hand, but it doesn't look like Thing to me. I don't know if it's just me. Let me know. Let's see. SNL 50. You can see more cowbell. Dunder Mifflin. We got some Scooby-Doo. Let's zoom back out here. And then, various different other properties here. I'm not a big Wizard of Oz guy, but this looks like it could be cool. This little I'm melting witch, watch the witch melt. That's one where I might go in the store and press the button just to enjoy it once. Golden Girls has been big for Hallmark. Then we have Rick and Morty, T2, a Borg cube desk decoration. Again, that's another one. I'd like to go in the store just to play it. Now, here's one of the things that surprised me. Is a Star Trek Strategic Operations Simulator arcade game. And it surprises me. Now it's $37. This one might be another for me, a Target at half off kind of deal. But it surprises me because like the arcade game, Star Trek, obviously huge. But the arcade game, a lot of people aren't even aware of the arcade game. I mean, Star Wars, the arcade game is 10 times more popular. But I'm glad to see that. That I might want to dig out. I played the 2600 version and the Atari 8-bit version of the arcade game. Never seen the arcade cabinet in the wild. Star Wars, here we have them, playing that little space chess. There's a little mini action figure in the package, Luke Skywalker. That looks kind of neat. I like this too. The melted Darth Vader helmet, but they say limited quantity. So that may go fast. I don't know. Got some other cool Star Wars stuff. Grogu. That armor looks bigger than him than I remember being on the show. And they do Harry Potter stuff. I'm not into Harry Potter, but fans of it might appreciate it. I do think this is a cute Funko Pop one right here. Wolverine on the Sentinel's head and it lights up. And if you're a fan of Fantastic Four, that's a nice looking popping out of the comic book kind of thing. These two, being a fan of the old school Batman show, I dig these. The Bat Shield, $25, and the Cesar Romero Joker, pretty cool. And then we have some other stuff, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z, some more Pokemon. We have some Mario Brothers stuff. So we have a star, that would actually be kind of cool. The Mario Brothers tree topper, $75, lights up, and it goes in sync with music, the theme song from Mario Brothers. I like Zelda. I'm not sure about a Decade Master Sword. I think I'd rather have it like in a pedestal or something like that. Supersonic, Minecraft. How about these? If you're an Xbox 360 fan, they've done some really cool mini ornaments of systems like the Nintendo and the Genesis and the Dreamcast. And now they're doing the Xbox. And is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but it almost looks like the system's yellowing already. But it's going to play Halo 3 game sounds if you click on it. Not too bad for, was it $23? They used to be $20. And then you have this Halo 3 popping out of the game box there. And then they do Halloween ornaments. So we have some Nightmare Before Christmas and various Halloween stuff. And that's the book. So I like the Xbox 360. I definitely like the old school Batmans. Those are some of my favorite there as well. And I definitely like the Star Trek little mini arcade. And of course, my favorite right here is the Jaws, just because I'm a Jaws fan. Let me know what you think. Are there any ones that you think are pretty cool that you might try to grab when they're available? And again, if you look in the catalog, free to download, it tells you when they'll be available and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments below. Click like and subscribe, and I will see you later.